Hello, my name is Nell, and I have things to say about disability, chronic illness, and mental health. I live with all of these things, and here in my videos on my channel, I talk about them. I talk about them to raise awareness and to build community. If that sounds like something that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel. Come back every Wednesday when I upload new videos. Let me know what you think of my videos in my comments section, and if you know of somebody who would benefit from my videos, please feel free to share these videos. Please share these videos. Honestly, I put a lot of heart and soul and thought and preparation into these videos, and I want more people to see them. I want more people to hear what I have to say because I think it's worthwhile. So please share them if you know of people who really would be interested. Today I want to talk about accessible bathrooms and exactly who should use them. Now, who is allowed to use accessible bathrooms? I mean, legally, anyone. There is no permit required to use an accessible bathroom. But the real question is, who should use an accessible bathroom? And the answer to that is anyone who really needs it. But underneath that, the answer is not so simple. The people who need to use an accessible bathroom aren't always the people that you might assume need to use an accessible bathroom. They might not always use a wheelchair or even a mobility aid. When I started using accessible bathrooms, I was using a walking stick part-time. I didn't always need my walking stick, so I would walk unaided into an accessible bathroom. My issue was that I had a lot of trouble standing up and sitting down. I was very unsteady on my feet, so I needed a handrail. People would see me walking in and out of accessible bathrooms and probably assumed that I didn't have a right to be there. So there are people who might need to use an accessible bathroom because they are unsteady on their feet. There also might be people who need to use an accessible bathroom because they have bowel issues or conditions that require them to have privacy in their bathroom. People who might use a colostomy bag and who need to have space and privacy, emptying it and having space to clean themselves up, or people with bowel issues who want that space and privacy. Also people who have mental health conditions or neurological disorders such as autism, anxiety, even claustrophobia, who might find it incredibly confronting and uncomfortable and possibly unsafe to use a regular bathroom stall, and who need to have the safety and space of an accessible bathroom. These are all very valid reasons to use an accessible bathroom. So when you see somebody walk into an accessible bathroom without using any kind of mobility aid or wheelchair, don't assume that they don't have a right to be there. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what's going on inside that bathroom, and you don't know what's going on in their head. So, since using an accessible bathroom without any kind of permit isn't illegal, why shouldn't you just use one? Especially if the regular bathroom stalls are full and you just want to pop in somewhere quickly. Why shouldn't you just use the accessible bathroom? You're not going to get fined, so what's the harm? The harm is that if you use that bathroom and then somebody who really needs it comes to use it, they have nowhere else to go. But you do. If there are 3 regular bathroom stalls and they're all full, and you think, I'll just duck on over to the accessible bathroom quickly, one of those 3 stalls is going to be empty pretty damn soon. But when somebody who needs an accessible bathroom comes up, they can't use one of those 3 free stalls. The only stall that they can use is the one you're using. So, while you're in that accessible stall, one that you don't actually require at all, there is somebody waiting outside who cannot go to the bathroom. And for a lot of us who require accessible bathrooms, we also have urgent bathroom needs. A lot of us have bowel issues, urinary issues, where it means we have urgency. So you have somewhere else to go. We do not. Do not just pop into the accessible bathroom because you think you're going to be quick when the other stalls are taken. The other stalls are going to be freed up pretty soon, and when we arrive needing a bathroom, we can't use those. you can. When somebody walks out of an accessible stall, I don't assume anything. I don't assume whether or not they needed it, whether or not they should have been in there. But one thing I do find interesting is how they react to me. Some people will walk out of the stall and just nod to me and say, "Oh, hi, how are you?" They walk out and I think, yeah, that's fine. They obviously needed to use it. That's fine. That's great. But sometimes people walk out and they have the guiltiest look on their face. And I think, I wonder if they really needed to use it. Judging by their shocked look and the guilt that they showed when they came out and saw a person in a wheelchair waiting. Recently, I was waiting in the hallway of a shopping centre and I was waiting for quite a while. And the door to the accessible bathroom opened and a young girl walked out on her phone, just looking down on her phone. And she came out into the hallway and saw me and stopped dead in her tracks. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And walked off. And I said, if you don't need to use that room, please don't use that room. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I never say you shouldn't have been in there. I will just say, if you don't need to use it, please don't. And in this situation, I got the vibes that she didn't. Just from her reaction. Not my assumptions, just from her reaction. So, that's who can use an accessible bathroom. That's who should use an accessible bathroom. And that's why, if you don't need to, please don't. I have nowhere else to go, and you do. That's all for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please share. Also, please check out my Instagram and TikTok. I post short little summaries of these videos. I also post some song covers and some pictures on there. It's a lot of fun. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bless.